Only 17, but he plays like a man.
Happy New Year. As we turn the calendar to 2023, we want to thank you, our loyal Wager Talk Sports Memo and Gold Sheet family. Thank you not only for your business, but for your feedback, suggestions, and criticisms, as it has helped us grow to become the #1 sports betting information company and leader of the sports betting videos and content, with Wager Talk TV now having over 110,000 subscribers. To welcome in 2023 and to thank all of you for your support, we want to give you 23% more on any All Sports All Access pass of 30 days and longer. Buy a 30-day All Sports All Access pass and get 7 days free, a $99 value. Buy a 90-day and get 22 free days. Buy a full year and get 84 free days, which basically takes you through March Madness of 2024. No coupon is needed, and the added free days will automatically appear. Just head to your favorite handicappers page and you will find these specials loaded. This special offer is only available until midnight on January 9th, the night of the College Football National Championship. For myself and everyone at the Wager Talk Media family, Happy New Year.
Happy Friday, guys. Welcome to Wager Talk TV and Puck Time. Carmine, Bianco here. A different spin to the show today. Andrew is away. I'll get to that why in a minute. But we do have Andy Lang filling in the co-hosting chair. And I want to thank Andy for coming on. Let me tell you, man, yesterday's show and the leans that I had on yesterday's show were so rough. It's almost like on that Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase, where that squirrel comes out of the tree out of nowhere, man. That's how the plays felt for me yesterday. Absolutely. I zigged, the leans zagged. It was absolutely, it was incredible, Andy. I couldn't have got more wrong if I tried. It's that's how bad it was. A few surprises. My producer reminded me that that one of my banana in the tailpipes that I did not use yesterday would have ended up winning, and we're not even going to discuss that because if Prez was on the show, I'm sure he wouldn't want to discuss it either, as the Seattle Kraken knock off the Toronto Maple Leafs. But Andy, welcome to the show. Thank you for stepping in the last minute, and I'm hoping that you're going to have some proper and winning leans on today's show.
Listen, I feel you. The last time I was on the show, my best bet was Seth Jones for the Blackhawks to not have a point. They lose 3-1. He scores the goal for Chicago. So I feel your pain, Carm. Sometimes we just have one of those days. No, good card. Very bettable. There's not a ton of games, but there's a few really good spots to turn some profit. So we only need a couple games to make some money for everybody today.
Yep. And it's good to have one Canadian and one American on this show, because you guys did win the bronze medal game yesterday at the World Junior Hockey Championships. Team Canada, of course, did win the gold medal in OT. And you know who was there? Andrew McInnes. Andrew's not on the show today. Andrew had lost his voice at the game yesterday, as you can see by some of the tweets. So he got interviewed by CBC. Andrew is a big Connor Bedard fan, and we actually have video, guys, of the exact moment where Andrew lost his voice at the game yesterday. So let's see if we can get that up on the screen.
17, but he plays like a man. He's a beast. He's a beast. He scores every game.
Yes. That is the moment that Andrew lost his voice yesterday at the game. Now, I'm not sure if 24 light beers had anything to do with that, Andrew, but take the weekend to recover, and we look forward to you being back on Monday with your buy and sell. And maybe you want to buy a new voice, but and sell that horse one that you have. But listen, rest up, young man. Andy and I got it covered, and don't worry about it. We got it covered. I'm still going to do the 6 and 60 today. So I didn't want to leave our pucksters hanging with no show today, so Andy stepped in. So I thank him. And Andy, before we get into it, and the first of 4 games, we're going to do Nashville, Washington, Tampa, Winnipeg, New York Islanders, Calgary Flames, and we're going to do Arizona and Chicago. But before we do that, and I know it's a hockey show, golf, man. Nick Borman yesterday gave me a bunch of golf plays. Golf's in full swing, and you do the golf show with Nick. I'm assuming you're going to have a ton of golf plays this weekend.
Yeah, golf plays are already up. We're going to have 2 for the round only today. So round 2 plays, so you can grab those at Wager Talk. I have to laugh at Andrew there. I mean, a grown man drinking light beer, yelling and screaming at teenagers. It reminds me of when I was a Boy Scout. But yeah, yes, there are plenty of golf plays, plenty of action up. 5% NFL plays up. The 5% NFL plays have just been fantastic. So yeah, a lot of stuff good going on at Wager Talk as we wrap up NFL season and NHL. This is the good time of NHL as we creep towards the playoffs second half. I believe this is when you guys really start to hit your stride. I know this is when I hit my stride in NHL. So this is a great time to get involved in NHL.
Absolutely. And for those of you out there, tune in on Monday's show for the return of Andrew McInnes. But we're going to have an awesome NHL promo for you guys on Monday. So make sure you tune in. That's being put together by our fabulous office in Detroit. Well, with that said, guys, we got to get right to it. Nashville and Washington. First game we're going to look at on today's card. Let's have a look at the numbers on this one. Washington, minus 160. Nashville, plus 135. The total currently at 6.5, but I'm starting to see some 6s across the board. So if you like the under, you might want to grab it. I'm going to mention this before I go to Andy for probably a prop on this game is, this is the second of back-to-backs for both teams. They're both off of wins yesterday. Obviously, the Preds win was probably a little more impressive given that they knocked off the Carolina Hurricanes, not the Carolina Panthers, as I've referred to them in the past, but the Hurricanes, while Washington beat Columbus. The interesting thing here, Andy, and then I'm going to throw this to you, is Washington has scored. Here's some conflicting stats for you. Washington has scored 4 or more goals in 7 of their last 9 games. This team is scoring a bunch of goals, and their team total right now is at 3.5, the minus 110 to the over. But a conflicting stat, the Nashville Predators, their last 20 games, 17 times, they've kept the opposition to 3 or fewer goals. They've only allowed more than 3 goals in 3 of their last 20 games. And that's probably why we're seeing this total drop from 6.5 down to 6. My lean in this game is if you can get the under at 6.5, you want to take it. I think all the value is gone at 6. If you can grab the 6.5, grab it. And I'm leaning under here. Andy, give me your thoughts on this one.
I tend to lean more towards the defensive side when it comes to this. I think the defense can be a lot more easy to replicate when you're dealing with, a system and, large group of players. When you're just talking about the defensive scheme, I think that's a little bit better than depending on offensive superstars. I believe a team can do much better. A slight lean to the defense, though. That being said, when I grew up playing sports, I always played defense, so I probably am always going to lean towards the defensive side in that. There is one prop that I really like in this one, and it's actually Forsberg to have a point. He's had 9 points in the last 5 games, so he's on a really, really nice streak here. Both teams are on the back-to-back, like you mentioned. Now, the Capitals have given up 13 goals in the last 4 games. Nashville has scored 19 in their last 4 road games. So they play well on the road. Both teams on this back-to-back, so I think you could have a little bit of helter-skelter at times. Forsberg has played 2 back-to-back situations this year, and he had a point in both of the second games of the back-to-back. So, Carm, I'm with you on the under, but that being said, there are going to be goals scored. I think Forsberg is involved in at least one of them. I think we're getting a pretty fair price on this one. That's my favorite player prop in this one.
All right, and Forsberg at DraftKings, other than the player prop, just to get a point, if you like Forsberg to score, I'm seeing plus 145 over at DK. So both of those could, obviously, both of them would hit should he score. So go Forsberg. I might have to take that one, Andy, and take them both and hit a 2-for-1 on that one. Tampa Bay and Winnipeg, probably the toughest game from a who wins standpoint. Also goes tonight. Let's have a look at this one. Tampa Bay, the slight favorite, minus 120. Winnipeg, even money at home. The total here is 6, minus 120 to the over. I'm going to say this. First off, is if you're looking to bet this game, you want to make sure. And if you're looking to bet Tampa Bay, you want to make sure you look to see who the goalies are for tonight's game. While it's likely going to be a Hellebuck for Winnipeg, Tampa Bay, Vasilevsky did not start the second of a back-to-back. He was ill, served as a backup, and there is no news yet as to whether he is better. And he's shown as the projected goalie in this game, but there's no guarantee he actually is going to be the goalie. So you want to make sure if you're betting Tampa Bay, you're getting Vasilevsky. Otherwise, you're either going to get Elliott playing his third in 4 nights, which normally doesn't happen with him, or you're going to get another backup if they call someone up. We'll get news on that shortly. But from a total standpoint, which is where I'm looking at this game, I like the under in this game. You look at the number of 6. Winnipeg in their last 10 games have not gone over 6 in any of their last 10 games. 7 have stayed under, 3 have pushed on the total of 6. In a battle of, if we get the 2 best goalies in there, probably not a lot of goals. I'm looking at 6, Andy, in this game, and the under. I don't see a ton of goals on a Friday night thus far through 2 games. What about you?
Having construction done in my house, so I muted myself there. Sorry. I'm struggling with this one as well, Carm. This was the hardest one that I tried to find props. I really can't get settled on this one. And part of it is because we always look towards, well, who's going to play well, who's going to have a point, who's going to have a goal. And I'm with you on the under on this one. I think goals are pretty hard to come by. So when I'm looking at this, what if we just, kind of throw caution to the wind and take, someone like Stamkos to not have a point? You're getting over plus 150 on this. He didn't have a point last game. He's not going to have a point every single game. And we look for our spots. This Winnipeg defense, second in goals allowed, second in power play goals allowed. So if you're thinking that the game script is going to be under, which I agree, I would maybe take a sprinkle on some of these guys that traditionally are scoring points. Maybe Josh Morrissey to not have a point. He hasn't had a point in 2 out of 5 games. I know that's not super impressive, but when you look at his price, it's plus 140 to not have a point. In the end, I'm staying away from this one. I just couldn't get to the window on any of these. But if you're looking for any plus money props, I would look at some of these big name guys to not have a point. They're not all going to have a point in a low scoring game tonight.
All right. And I'm looking at updated goalies. I still don't see one for either one of those 2, Andy, but good luck with that. I love the prop perspective of it. I've been playing a few props this week, and they've gone a lot better than my game selections thus far. When you talk about your wins, you got to talk about the losses as well, too. So hopefully the props keep going and the side selections start to iron themselves out as well. All right, a couple teams that need to iron themselves out as well. The New York Islanders as a road team and the Calgary Flames as a road or home team. Let's have a look at the numbers on this one. Flames minus 220. Wow. At home, the New York Islanders plus 180. The total here is currently at 5.5. Andy, give me your thoughts on this one first from a prop perspective, if you have one, and then I'll close it off before we head to the 4th and final game.
I'm going to take Tyler Toffoli to have a point. He's a beast. He has a point every game. He plays like a man. So he's had a point in 7 out of 8 games, back-to-back situation for the Islanders. They've given up 10 goals in 3 road games, 27 goals in their last 8 road games. So I think Tyler Toffoli's getting a great price here. I mean, it's less than minus 140 on DraftKings right now. I was pretty surprised that he wasn't much higher than that. So pretty easy play for me on this one, Carm. My favorite player prop in this game by far is Toffoli to have a point.
All right. The interesting thing about this game is this was literally the of the 6 games going tonight, this was the biggest market mover from the opener. This game opened at 190, shot up to about 220. Right now I'm seeing on our live lines, our consensus lines, but there's still some 230s out there. There's some buyback happening because I've seen some of the books that were in the high 230s coming back down to 210. So some people are buying back on the New York Islanders. No goalies named as of yet, although if Sorokin started yesterday, so it's likely going to be Varlamov for the Islanders. The thing about the Islanders is it is a back-to-back, but this year they've had 7 back-to-backs and won 5 of those 7 back-to-backs. It's just the fact that they are 6-9 their last 15 on the road. This is a team that's just not winning consistently on the road. I think they're probably 9th in the East as far as road records go, and you're getting their backup goalie in net. Although he's good, he is not Sorokin, and even Sorokin wasn't enough last night for them. So for me, it's likely going to be the Flames, but I'm not laying 220. You can get him in regulation time at about 130-ish or so if you're going to take that. I think that's the only way to go here. I can't, even at that juicy plus 180 price on the Islanders, until they start winning with regularity, you're just speculating on whether they can win or not on a game-by-game basis. All right, we're going to go into the 4th and final game, and then we're going to do our 6 and 60 segment. Arizona and Chicago. Let's have a look at the numbers on this one. Chicago minus 115 at home. Arizona minus 105. The total is at 6 in this one. And guys, I'm sorry, but I had to put this game on the card today. And you know why. Chicago, 13 losses in their last 14 games. Each of those 13 losses by 2 or more goals. And they're favored tonight. They are favored tonight, having lost 13 or last 14. Coyotes, final game of a 4-game road trip. They've lost by 5-3, 5-3, and 6-2 margins. They probably want to close it out in Chicago with a win, or they'd likely just want to head home after a disastrous road trip. Andy, this is probably one of the ugliest games of the whole weekend. This is like wanting to eat cereal, but you can't see what the expiry date is on the milk, but you're willing to give it a shot anyways because you're hungry. That's what betting this game is. I'm just going to go the over here. Two teams not playing great. Maybe we see some goals, some pond hockey, over 6. What are your thoughts? Are you having some cereal with some bad milk or what?
I laughed that you said that this was one of the worst games of the weekend. This is one of the worst games, much more than just a weekend. You know what? I looked at this game, and I'm going with a same game parlay. I'm going to take the Coyotes over 1.5 goals and parlay it with the Blackhawks under 4.5 goals. If you're not betting against the Blackhawks, I don't know what else you would be doing. The Blackhawks have scored over 4.5 goals only twice since Halloween, and they've given up 2 or more goals in 27 straight games. So I feel pretty good about these trends here. So on DraftKings, I'm going to do the same game parlay. Coyotes over 1.5 goals. Blackhawks under 4.5 goals. It's a train wreck of a game, but I don't believe Chicago is going to be scoring. I don't believe they're going to be holding Arizona to a shutout or to 1 goal. So give me that one, Carm. That's how I'm going to attack this game.
All right, I like it. It is definitely one of the ugliest ones of the year. I see Andrew is in our chat. I actually think it's his beautiful girlfriend Lindsay in there. typing out messages under Andrew's name because everything is properly spelt. I'm just kidding, Andrew. I'm giving Andrew a hard time. He'll be back on Monday, and the minute I miss one of the shows, I'm sure he'll do the exact same thing to me, Andy. But before we get into into our best bet segment, it's Friday. We've got to do a lot better on these. I've got to do a lot better on these. The 6 and 60s. We need a very good winning 6 and 60. And I have a feeling this might be the one. Might be my best 6 and 60. With that said, I probably jinxed myself. I'm going to go 0 and 6, but who knows? Dan, my man, the Eagles fan, who was down on his team, but they're favored by 14 points over the Giants and going to cover. Let's get that clock up there. Here's the 6 and 60, my friends. Hit that clock. Away we go. Devils and Rangers. Rangers 11-3-1. Their last 15. Devils continue to struggle. I'm going to take the plus money here with the Rangers until the Devils right the ship. Columbus and Carolina. Carolina with 2 consecutive 5-3 losses after an 11-game winning streak. They're going to get back on track here. Carolina in regulation time. Montreal and St. Louis. Injuries have not stopped the Blues. 11 goals in their last 2 games. Both wins. Montreal has lost 10 of their last 11. Let's take St. Louis Blues. Ottawa and Seattle. The Sens are playing much better. It's because of their defense. And Seattle's 2 straight wins, allowing 3 goals total to Toronto and Edmonton. Let's take under 6.5 here. Toronto and Detroit. In bowling, you get a turkey with 3 consecutive strikes. Leafs have 2 already, losing their last couple of games. Let's take them to win this game in regulation time against the Detroit Red Wings. And then finally, San Jose and Boston Bruins start the road trip with a nice win in LA. Sharks on the second of a back-to-back. Let's take the Bruins in regulation. That's your 6 and 60. That was a little longer than 60 seconds. I'm sorry about that, but what kind of
buzzer was that?
Yeah, I know. It's the turkey buzzer. It is literally the turkey buzzer. What threw me off? The Leafs. The Leafs always throw me off, Andy. They have lost 6-5 and 5-1 to the Blues and the Krakens. It's like when you're bowling, 3 consecutive strikes and you are a turkey. If they lose to the Wings, they are a turkey. So you Leaf fans out there, and the Prez is not a Leaf fan right now after last night's game. But with that said, let's not harp on it. Andy, let's get into our best bet segment. Give me a winner for tonight. And tell us what you have up at Wager Talk, of course.
Sure. Biggest thing, 5% NFL play. Also, take advantage of the 23% added on to the 30-day pass and 90-day pass. It's good for any handicapper on Wager Talk. You don't need a promo code. So if you have a handicapper that you're interested in getting involved with long-term, go do that. But the 5% NFL play is good. We got NBA up. Listen, this segment is called Best Bet, not best hockey bet. So I'm going with what I know best. I'm going to throw everyone for a loop. Sepp Straka over Luke List in round 2 of the Century Tournament of Champions. It's in Hawaii. This tees off in 3 or 4 hours. Sepp Straka and Luke List are tied after round 1, but Sepp Straka had one bad hole where he triple bogeyed. He's a much better putter on these massive greens. Luke List is one of the worst putters on tour. He shot -2 yesterday, thanks in part to a long drained putt on a par 5 that gave him an eagle. No way he replicates that. Sepp Straka should win by 3 shots. You're getting a good price on the much better putter on a course that demands good putting. Sepp Straka over Luke List as your best bet.
All right, Andy. And remember, when you get to the next hole, always remember to wash your balls. All right, my show best bet, guys. I am going to stick in the NHL. The first game we talked about, Nashville and Washington. That Washington team totals at 3.5. Nashville has done a fabulous job at playing defense, and they have to because they can't score themselves. I'm going to take the Washington team total under 3.5 tonight, -120. 17 of the last 20 games for the Predators, they've kept teams at 3 or fewer goals. That's a much better trend than Washington going over the number 7 of their last 9. So that's your best bet. Washington team total under 3.5, -120. Guys, have a fantastic weekend. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Andrew, we had a little bit of fun with you on the show. But listen, we love you, brother. Get better. We'll see you on Monday for your buy and sell segment. Guys, have a great weekend, and best of luck. Hit that like button, and we'll see you on Monday at 11 a.m.
Happy New Year. As we turn the calendar to 2023, we want to thank you, our loyal Wager Talk Sports Memo and Gold Chief family. Thank you not only for your business, but for your feedback, suggestions, and criticisms, as it has helped us grow to become the #1 sports betting information company and leader of the sports betting videos and content, with Wager Talk TV now having over 110,000 subscribers. To welcome in 2023 and to thank all of you for your support, we want to give you 23% more on any All Sports All Access Pass of 30 days and longer. Buy a 30-day All Sports All Access Pass and get 7 days free, a $99 value. Buy a 90-day and get 22 free days. Buy a full year and get 84 free days, which basically takes you through March Madness of 2024. No coupon is needed, and the added free days will automatically appear. Just head to your favorite handicappers page and you will find these specials loaded. This special offer is only available until midnight on January 9th, the night of the College Football National Championship. For myself and everyone at the Wager Talk Media family, Happy New Year.